Good evening, everybody, from Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm Mike Daggs. Alongside me in the booth, Gerald Smith, Cameron Irvine, our producer back at VHN HQ. We have a great game on deck for you tonight. Salt Lake City playing host to the Los Angeles Aztecs in the conference semifinal. Gerald, we just saw Cincinnati get a big comeback win over New York. We can only hope that this game lives up to that sort of level of hype. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing great, because guess what? There's nothing better than playoff football, and we have it here. A couple of teams that actually met not that long ago, and we're getting to see them go head-to-head tonight.
We sure do. And listen, we saw these teams go head-to-head earlier on this season in Los Angeles. It was a classic, a 26-23 overtime thriller where LA got the win, and that was one of Salt Lake City's only 2 losses all season long. They also lost back in week 3, another 3-point loss. Otherwise, dominant all season. We'll see what they can do here tonight as Jay Carter out on the field and hands the ball off to Chris Allure. As you see the starting offense here for the Salt Lake City Hornets. You've also got Alexander West, DJ Barker, and Noah Neely at the wide receiver spot. And Adam West, he is the tight end. Mia Pangori and Skippy Curtis on the offensive line. And Skippy in the chat. Hi, Skippy. 2nd down and 8. Quick toss out to the left-hand side and turning on the afterburners, getting some nice yardage. Getting up past the 30, sets up a 3rd and short.
And what a good way to start out right there, right? Being able to get there and get themselves in a 2nd and short situation. Because look, it's going to be difficult for any team, right, to come into Salt Lake, because guess what? They are undefeated at home, a whopping 9-0, which, you know, and includes these playoffs right here. So anybody that comes in here is going to have trouble.
Oh, 100%. This is a team that, like you just said, they never have lost at home. They're not looking to do so tonight. Carter back to pass, finds the target up top. Look at that toe drag swag, getting that catch. Lakem Hopkins on the sideline, getting the first down. The LA defense, you saw them featured on the screen. Now let's feature them by name. Michaela Forker on the defensive line, CJ Parrish, the middle linebacker, Scotty Scruggs, outside linebacker, Marion Turner at corner, Miguel Morales Woods at free safety, and our guy, Rain Rie. He is the strong safety for the LA Aztecs. I know you don't like saying his name, Rie.
No, it's real. It's
but yet it's not. As Chris Allure is able to only pick up a yard on the play. These two teams, you know, put up just so many points throughout the regular season. I'm expecting a high-scoring game, but it would also not surprise me if it turns into a defensive slugfest. It really could go either way. It's exciting to see how it's going to play out as that rush by Allure goes for about 3 yards. 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Yeah, so in their last 7 games, right, for Salt Lake, right, they've actually won, right? They lost one. One was actually LA, but 5 of their last 6 wins have been by multiple digits. So you know they can put up a ton of points.
Carter with a quick pass over the middle, and that one is incomplete. No pressure on the play, but that's definitely something we're going to be keeping an eye on throughout this game, Gerald, throughout this past week. LA and Salt Lake absolutely attacking each other. Jay Carter's throw under pressure is absolutely tanked. Salt Lake has been just working on that all week, trying to do everything they can to rattle Jay Carter. And if they put him under a lot of pressure tonight, we could see some wild throws that you're not used to seeing from a guy like Carter, who's had otherwise a fantastic season. And we'll see the LA Aztecs offense on the field for the first time tonight. Marco Swift, the quarterback. Isaiah Fowler in the backfield. He is the halfback. Quick screen down to the bottom, getting that out to Miles Morales Woods. He's one of the wide receivers. You've also got Iggy Turner at wide receiver, Lars Bizarre at tight end. On the offensive line, Xander Orion and Liam Swift.
Look, and that was a TFL right there, right? Doing a little short, wide receiver, little screen area there, and they're able to kind of get in the backfield. and stop for 1 yard loss and first down.
2nd down and 11. Ball is handed off right up the gut. That one goes to Fowler, and now we'll get a look at that LA offense. The offensive line done a great job throughout the season opening up running lanes for Fowler, keeping Swift upright, and there's Fowler right there in the middle, number 4 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts, if you're an LA fan anyway. 3rd down and 8.
It's funny when you say that. There's got to be people out there that, no, he's totally not number
He's not number 1. Swift back to throw. He's under pressure. Uncorks a deep one. Way into triple coverage, but could not haul it in. Climbed that ladder. But Leneric Fancher, the second, tried to get the catch. Couldn't do it. And now a quick 3 and out. Great job by this Salt Lake defense.
Yeah. Look, and they actually put pressure on him, kind of pushed the offensive lineman right back into his lap. But Fancher actually had his hands on it right there. He just couldn't haul it in. And I can't fault him for taking a shot right there.
Yeah, I can't either. I mean, it would have been, maybe a little better if it wasn't triple coverage, but Fancher still had an opportunity at it as this punt return goes up to the 42-yard line. And Carter will get his second crack at it on offense now. See what he's able to do here with this one. It's going to be an interesting contest between these teams. Like I said, instant classic the last time that they met way back at the end of June. Took all the way to extra football to decide that one. Fighting for some extra yardage on that carry, picking up 4 yards. But the winner of this one will continue in their playoff journey next week to decide who ends up going to the championship the week after. If LA gets the win tonight, they will travel to visit the winner of tomorrow's conference semifinal. If Salt Lake City gets the win, they would host. First down picked up on that carry and a fresh set of downs for the Hornets.
Yeah, look, and they're taking a little bit different approach, kind of going right up the middle right there, right? 5 carries and 22 yards so far for the running back. So, I mean, that was a very, very good run right there to see if they can keep it going.
Carter in the gun. Aztecs only send 4, no pressure to be seen. Pass down to the bottom and finds his target right on the sideline. Great job finding DJ Barker for a big gain and another first down, 21 yards on that catch.
It's almost like they kind of lost him. They played a little bit of zone right there. He just sat right on the sideline. I don't think there was anybody within probably 5 yards of him when the ball got there. And he just sat right there, just ran right to a spot and was able to hit it and kind of, keep his toes in bounds. And as they inch closer, they got to be in the red zone here. What they said at? They 26ers right outside the red zone.
Just outside it. Now we're going to get a review.
That's a terrible review. I don't
yeah.
think it's a...
I mean, he was in by a full yard. So, I guess sometimes I don't know. This was a Los Angeles challenge. So not one I would have challenged. And I think it's going to cost him a timeout. We'll get a call from the ref.
And I didn't even see any bobble or nothing like that in there either. So I think it's pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
Pretty clear.
Yeah. And the ruling on the field stands. So a timeout. Well, I guess I should let the ref make that call, not me, but so as the ref just stated, ruling on the field stands is called. LA loses a timeout, and timeouts could be a precious commodity in this one, Gerald.
Yeah. Because you don't want to get in. I mean, look. I mean, the last one they had, right? It was a game that went in overtime. So you want to make sure you hold on to those timeouts. You may need them.
All kinds of time. Hit as he throws, and only a 3-yard gain. So far, looking poised in that pocket, and see if LA's efforts pay off for him.
Yeah, it's always a good thing when you look at your quarterback and he just stands there. He didn't even have to move and just and found a guy and got it out.
That run absolutely stifled right at the line. 3rd down and 6. Salt Lake, not to be outdone, they were attacking Michaela Forker's block shedding ability, trying to make sure that she wasn't able to get past that O-line and cause pressure for Jay Carter. So eye for an eye, if you will. These two teams doing battle before the game even began, and that one's into the end zone for 6. Touchdown Hornets.
And he had positioning right there. That's Alexander West being able to pull it down. And you watch him right here on replay, you're going to see he had positioning right in front of the DB, used his big body to jump up, shield it right there, and secure it. And this is what they were looking for right here at home. Got themselves a 6-0 lead, pinning the extra point, go turn into 7. But what a good second drive for them.
Absolutely. Marion Turner in on the coverage. And a very high extra points up and good. So 22 and 7 off the board, 22-yard touchdown catch. 7 points for Salt Lake City. Marion Turner been playing awesome throughout the season. And that was more credit to Adam West than it was a knock on Turner. To your point, Gerald, West just able to completely box Turner out and put himself in the position he needed to be in to get that catch and secure those points. So, but what I was saying right before the touchdown pass, these teams doing battle all week long, just even leading up to the game. Sometimes it's not just about the play on the field, but the work that you put in off the field as well.
Yeah, look, I mean, because they got to get themselves, in a position to actually win. When you go all week to prep, right? And it wasn't that long ago, and I'm sure Salt Lake remembers that overtime loss, the last loss they've actually had. So they're prepping in there, looking at, and they can try and figure out, hey, look, this is what we did wrong last time. Let's not repeat that and get the upper hand early.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, looking into the history books, they might even still be remembering that Salt Lake and Los Angeles met in the original iteration of the UFL's season 27 conference final, where LA won that one 28-26. So these teams have done battle for years and have had a lot of close games. Those two, some of the closest and most statement worthy. Play action. Aztecs second drive nets them a first down, this time 3 and out the last time around, and Miles Morales-Woods says, not this time. Gets a big 22-yard reception over the middle.
Yeah, and look, and that's what they needed, right? You come out right there, right on your first play after your opponent just put some points on the board. Then they come there and make a very, very huge splash play and, get you close to midfield. So it's really good for them to just answer right after that touchdown to be able to come out with a big play.
First down and 10. Going down to the ground, this time not going to Fowler, but instead Adam Noel. He'll pick up 6 yards, second down and 4.
Yeah, look, and they're just trying to get themselves in a situation to look at 6 yards on first down. That's pretty good. Look like he just barrel rolled or something. 6 yards. I think it was a generous spot, but maybe he kept himself off the turf.
Swift with the delayed handoff to Fowler. He'll pick up about 2 on the play, and we will see this defense for the Hornets on the defensive line. Joe Malone and James Neely at middle linebacker. Don Mariano and DeQuavius Locke is your corner. Chan Lopez, free safety. That is the key players here on this Hornet defense. Third down and 2 coming up. LA looking to respond to the Salt Lake touchdown. Can they keep the drive alive? Nice block picked up, but not enough of a block as Fowler tackled for a loss. Fourth down.
Yeah, and Connor Murphy comes right in right there, right? They picked up the one block right off the edge, but man, he just come right there. Too many people to block right there, and they had nothing for. And I don't even know if I even like that play design, the formation. I mean, you're 3rd and 2, you're trying to answer right there. I don't know. I don't know if I like that too much, but good enough for Salt Lake, right? They get themselves in a situation, force a punt, and be able to get the ball back, try and build on the lead.
Yeah, if 24 doesn't jump off sides anyway. Looking a little fidgety there on the line. Nice punt back towards the coffin corner, and he knocks that one out of bounds. We'll spot it at the 16-yard line, and Salt Lake offense trotting back out onto the field. You see Chris Allure, and the last time they met, 165 rushing yards on 20 carries and 2 touchdowns for Allure, despite suffering a speed drop ahead of the game. So far in this one, he's been relatively quiet, but lots of football left to be played. Play action. Carter up top has a guy one-on-one, but that one's incomplete. Now 4 of 6 for 51 yards.
Yeah, and them too, you know, they went, you know, they decided to go for their splash play right after they get the possession right there, but it wasn't to be, you know, very, very good coverage right there. Only had a spot, a very small window, but he wasn't able to fit it in there.
Ball is handed off to Allure this time. Doesn't even get touched for the first 10 yards and then gets brought down, but not before a Hornet first down.
Man, I don't know why he slowed down there. Looked like he could have kept running, maybe just split the two defenders. He could have been kept on running right here as we get another look here at the replay. Very good blocking right there, but he kind of stepped right out to split them two defenders and try to keep on going. But good news is, reset the downs, about a 10-yard gain.
Now up to the 26-yard line. Ball is handed off again, and that time doesn't just stutter step. He straight up jukes and gets some extra yards, picks up 7.
It shook him almost right out of his shoes right there. Being able to get a couple extra yards by putting the move on the guy. 7 total yards on first down, man. I take that every day.
2nd down and 3 now. Play action once again. Carter, quick pass over the middle, wide open target. Gerald, there wasn't anybody within 10 yards of that receiver.
Yeah, look, and it's the second time we've seen that right there, right? Being able to, them be able to get separation on the back end right there, right? You gotta look at yourself right there, and maybe they caught him off guard. It kind of rolled out a little bit to his right, threw back to his left. But man, like you gotta stay disciplined and keeping your zone and area. But very, very good play design though.
Teams throughout the entire league coming after the top-seeded Salt Lake Hornets. Chris Allure's speed hit again last week to make him just a little bit slower, if he looks any slower than what you're used to seeing. But does it matter, Gerald? He's got 4.6 yards per carry so far in this one on 10 carries. Doing a fantastic job.
I don't think it matters at all, right? Him having over 1,400 yards on the season and, you know, eight touchdowns. So it's averaging over 100 yards a game.
2nd and 4, Carter in the gun, hands it off on a bit of a sweep and picks up almost all that's needed. 3rd down and inches as McLean gets a carry.
Yeah, and I would think that, you know, at this point right here, you give it right back to Allure if he's in the backfield there. And
oh yeah,
I mean, he's going to get this averaging over 4 yards a carry right now.
Should be no problem, and indeed it is. Only picks up about a yard, but that's more than enough when all you needed was inches. A fast-moving first quarter in the books. The Rocky Mountains in the background. You're watching the UFL on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Mike Daggs. He is Gerald Smith. Cameron Irvine, our producer, back at VHN HQ. You're watching the conference semifinals, first of a couple of West Conference semifinal games. The next one is tomorrow night. Second down and 9. Roll out, throw down to the bottom, caught. Wow. Only a 2-yard pickup. Great job by the defense.
Yeah, that was a very, very good open field tackle right there. I had just him and a guy out there being able to, you know, just see it, recognize it, and knock him to the ground. And now it's a 3rd and long-ish.
3rd and 7 up top. Doesn't even get the catch. I think he heard the footsteps of the defender flying in, ready to break that one. Miguel Morales Woods ready to absolutely concuss him. So ball was dropped.
Yeah, he probably heard Morales Woods kind of yelling in his ear or something like that. You better drop it. Dropped it right there. Allure didn't want none of it.
Field goal try to get some more points on the board is up. It is good. Salt Lake extends their lead 10-0 over the LA Aztecs. And LA needs to respond, Gerald. They've haven't been able to get anything going yet. They've had a couple of possessions. They had a 3-and-out to start the game, and you know, finally were able to move the ball a little bit and start getting their way downfield. But they had to punt on their last possession. We'll see if they can get something here. I mean, Salt Lake is a team that is not known for slowing down in the point scoring category. LA is going to need to score often in this one if they're going to have a hope of taking down the Hornets.
Yeah, look, and this is something where, of course, LA played at home in their last meeting, but they weren't in a position in that game, right? They weren't down by 10 points in the first half, right? So, it was 13-10 at half last game that they played. So look, and they were up at half, right? Leading 13-10. So this is something that, on the road that they're going to have to, navigate. Look, and on the road, they aren't the best on the road either, right? They got 4 losses on the road, this season. So it's and them too, right? As far as the Aztecs go, them two are better at home than what they are on the road, right? The Aztecs, if they were playing at home, I think everyone would feel a lot more comfortable about it with them only having 1 loss, at home. But here they are on the road, having 4 of their 5 losses on the road.
2nd down and 8 from the 27-yard line. Ball is handed off, and now Fowler's got all kinds of room. Could he go? 1 man to beat to the 20, 10, 5, touchdown Aztecs, and they're right back in it. A 73-yard score.
And Fowler took off, and typically I don't like the stutter stop right there, but his offensive line gave him a huge hole to run through. What he does, he actually hits the stutter stop. Watch right here. You go, boop, let him go right by him, make the juke move, and he was gone. Wow, and he has such speed right there. What a way to get your team back in the game right here. After I was questioning what they were going to do, they did it on the ground. Fowler took off. Wow, and that's the 2nd longest run of the season, his longest being 82 yards versus New York on opening night of the season, and he does almost meet that for what you said was 73-yard touchdown run. Very big right here in this playoffs.
Isaiah Fowler with the big score. And listen, I know that man personally, and I know he can be very hard on himself at times. And to have that big 82-yarder in opening week and to not have another big one since then has just got to be eating at him. But to watch his player get that big score there in the biggest game of the season has to mean a lot to him. 10-7 now, Salt Lake over the Aztecs. And now it's going to be up to the Aztec defense to see if they can get the Hornets off the field without allowing any more points to give the offense a chance to try to tie this up or take the lead. Kick goes into the end zone, taken out past the 20 and brought down at the 26-yard line. Jay Carter will return out onto the field on offense and see what they can get going this time around.
Yeah, man, they look after. I think they kind of stole some of the momentum back, right? LA did right there. You get up 10-0, you think, yeah, man, we're just going to cruise, because they look pretty dominant on defense. Didn't allow a whole lot, and allow that big, huge run right there. Now it's actually the offense to answer.
4 receivers set on first down. They're going to hand that one off to Allure. Only picks up 2 and then gets absolutely steamrolled by the defense.
Scruggs came in and just kind of enveloped them, swallowed them all up.
Allure don't want no scrubs, but he got him anyway. So, ball is handed off, and Allure able to get the first down and a little bit more, now up to 62 yards. His average is still over 4 per carry. He's got a fantastic game going so far early in this one.
Yeah, look, and the blocking up front on both teams has been really, really good. Being able to, open up these massive holes. We talk about it all the time, right? You can drive a couple of snowball trucks through that thing, and it's amazing. Defensive linemen have got to, even the second level defenders, Mike, they got to be able to come through and play that line of scrimmage, because right now I don't think they're doing a very good job of it.
Yeah, and I don't know if they expected this much running out of Allure. He's already up to 15 carries. The most he's ever carried throughout the season in a particular game is 29, and he's already over halfway there, and we're barely through quarter number 1. And they're going to have to change things up at some point. Allure out on that one. They handed off to the fullback, Lucas Doty, but that one goes nowhere, 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and here they are back in the passing game. I mean, they got 3 really good wide receivers here.
Carter throws. That one rushed a little bit, Gerald. I think some pressure was getting to him, and he even looks a little bit rattled standing there. So some of the pregame activities from the Aztecs may have come into play there.
Yeah, I thought he may have threw it, behind a defender right there, but looked like he's going a little bit deeper, behind his wide receiver. He's trying to throw to somebody a little bit deeper, but that had pick six written all over it if the defender had grabbed it with his hands.
Punt is away, and the Aztecs defense does their job. Now it's up to the offense to see what they can do. 7 points on the board after a 70-plus yard run from Isaiah Fowler. There he is, trotting back out onto the field. His longest run the first time these two teams met, Gerald, 10 yards. He, what would you even say? It's not obviously quadrupled. It's 4 times. What's 7 times? No, that's 8.
No, 7. Oh, something.
Something. He got a lot more yards, man. And look at, there's a bunch more yards. Buku yards, 20. But ineligible downfield. So that one's coming back. I think that's got to be your least favorite penalty of all time.
It is, right? So we see it all the time, and I want to see a replay. I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but I like to see a replay, see how far he was down the field. Like I said, we talk about it all the time, right? There's, letter of the law, but then it's, hey, if you murdered a guy and just sent him flying down the field, he just followed him. He just did his job.
Quick pass over the middle, and that one is complete. Picks up 6 yards. Actually, a little bit more than that because it was 1st and 15. So we'll go with 11 yards. But I actually did see a replay of that one, and the old lineman went on a bit of a journey on that one. So that may have been on him. But Fowler trying to pick up the first. He gets most of it. 3rd down and 1 coming up.
Yeah, look, and this is where you want to be, 3rd and short. I do think right here for LA, this is a really big 3rd down. I know it's 3rd and 1. I know we're still in the second quarter, but I do think it's a big 3rd down right here. Coming out after stopping LA, it's really big that you pick this up and keep this drive going.
Swift hands it off. 1st down picked up. It'll move these sticks. Look at those rushing stats, Gerald. 6 rushes, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Obviously, most of those coming in one rush, but a stat line is a stat line, and that's a nice one.
Yeah, we're going to see how it's going to shake out at the end of the game, right? If he ends up with like 90 yards on the game, we were like, yeah, well, maybe it wasn't as good as it was, but look, but he's got some points on the board. Look, and they can keep this going. I do think they have, Salt Lake on their heels right now.
Shotgun pass for Swift. That one dangerous. Tip drill, but falls harmlessly to the turf. The run game obviously going well for the Aztecs so far, aided in large parts of that big rush. But last week when Salt Lake was able to take down the Phoenix Skyhawks 31-19, they held the Skyhawks to 0 rushing yards. And the defense not able to quite do that today. So it looked like Fowler was going to be able to sneak through and just keep on going, but he picks up 4, 3rd and 6.
It almost looked like somewhat of an illegal tackle there if they're calling a horse collar here, but it looked like he was about to bust through, but he just didn't quite get it. And he's fast. He would have took off.
Swift in the gun, has time, goes deep down the left sideline, has his man, and it's complete for a 1st down, getting out to Javon Thome. The backup halfback getting involved he's playing receiver.
What a throw by Swift right there. He just dropped it, as they say, right in the bucket, only right where he can get it. And, wow, look, I don't know if we're going to see a better throw tonight. The way he did right there, just let him right there, linebacker following, and he just dropped it right there. If he couldn't get it, no one could. And what a way to just get them a little bit further down the field right now. They are in Salt Lake City territory.
Absolutely, and the seldom used in the passing game, Javon Thome, making an impact in a big way as Adam Noel gets his 3rd carry of the night. 2nd down and 3. That was a beautiful arching pass by Swift. And listen, when you have even if it's halfback 3 on your depth chart like Thome is, when you match him up against the linebacker, you got to take advantage of those mismatches. Fowler tackled for a loss once again. That one costing his team a yard. 3rd down and 4. TFL registered for the Salt Lake Hornets defense.
Yeah, Joe Malone just blew it up and just look at him fight off right there. A little bit of a double team and fight him off and just read and recognize right there, right? He's got 5 tackles, right? We've seen the graphic pop up just a little while. He's got 5 tackles already today, and he's on the defensive front, so he's making an impact for sure.
DJ Kilgannon in the chat asking if that was the water boy that was making the catch. Could be. Could be. I did see him over at that table earlier on and came running out on the field. So, you know, hey, doesn't matter who makes the catch as long as it's, I guess, a legal to be out there player. First down and 10 now after converting that third down with a nice pass over the middle from Swift.
Yeah. It don't matter where you find the talent as long as you got the talent. And if you get this far into the playoffs and in the season with the 12-5 record, hey, you got a little bit of something, even if it is coming from the water boy.
Fresh set of downs. LA knocking on the door. Swift back to throw, and that one is incomplete. Pass broken up over the middle, second down.
Like it doesn't look like they're. I don't know. They just. I know they are where they are on the field, but it's just sneak up on you how they got down here.
Oh, and this defense just doing an absolute phenomenal job as Joe Malone again just firing into the backfield.
Yeah, and then you got Don Mariano blowing it up back there too, just bam, right? Being able to hit him first.
Yep.
Just, getting in there, and it's between both of them, it's like, man, you get in there quick. And
Mariano wrapping him up, holding him up, and then Malone says, I got you. Knocks him down. So don't want to lose any more yards. You got an opportunity to tie this one up. Swift has time, decides to take it off with it himself, past the first down marker and more, slides down at the 6-yard line after a 20-yard scamper for a big first down. First and goal, Aztecs.
You can tell Swift wants this right here. He saw it. He's like, I have nobody down there. The pocket's really good, but I see a lot of screen space between, where I'm at and where the defenders are. And he ran right for it, knowing he got to pick it up. 3rd and 12. That was a 3rd and 12.
2-minute warning here in Salt Lake. Got a close one, and it looks like the Aztecs are about to respond. You're watching the UFL on the Virtual Football Network. Swift looks, end zone, back corner, wide open, touchdown. Aztecs take the lead.
Look, and there he is, Fancher the second coming through right there, and it looks like the defender right there just lost him. He made a move, and the defender just was lost him. Had no idea where he was. He's almost in the corner end zone, wide open. Great protection by the offensive line, and what a throw by Swift. And now they got themselves the lead right after 10-0.
Broke the pylon camera, though. But we can't have nice things.
Well, I mean, look, what if you can fly a drone just hovering in at the pylon area and just move it out of the way when they come that way? No?
Yeah.
Is that legal? No?
No, because then if you can't move it in time and then you fly into the player's face or something, they get mad. And then you got to hear from the league office, and I don't know. They start yelling at you in acronyms, and apparently you get them wrong. I don't know. Hey, the Aztecs took the lead here, 14-10 over Salt Lake. So now we'll see if Salt Lake wants to try to respond. Minute 55 to go. They've got all 3 timeouts, so they've got they got plenty of time to move the ball down the field, and if they play their clock management right, they should be able to get back into scoring range, if not put another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, look, and they've given up 14 unanswered points here, right after being up 10-0. Yeah. So they're definitely on their heels right now. I mean, LA coming in here, right, and being able to spot their opponent 10 points, and then be able to come up and make a couple stops and put up 14 of their own to take the lead. I think it's important right here going into the half for Salt Lake to actually show and try to go down there and be aggressive to try and get points on the board, because you don't want to give LA any more momentum than what they already have.
71 yards away from the end zone. Carter comes out in the gun, and he comes out swinging, but swinging a little too fast as he tried to connect that one with Adam West, the tight end, but West not quite ready for it.
Yeah, Adam West was like, yeah, that wasn't intended for me. Like, it just looked like he just had no idea the ball was ever intended for him.
Carter tries again, throwing down to the bottom. That time was able to connect, this time with Allure. But don't look now, Gerald. It's 3rd down and 9, and the Aztecs could be getting a quick 3 and out here.
Look, and what I would have done if I was LA, I would have actually called a timeout right there.
Carter back to pass, has time, finds his target up at the midfield marker, and gets a big first down. DJ Barker into Aztec territory.
Look, and if you're LA, you're looking at yourself, it's like, yeah, this is not what we wanted to give up. We had them exactly where we wanted them. They couldn't get pressure on Carter, and Carter was able to find him just streaking across right there open and just found that soft spot in the zone, right? You know, coming across where there's nobody's at, right? Just north of the corners and just south of the safeties. Found the right spot, and now they're in really good position right now. They are in LA territory in striking distance with timeouts.
Carter back, standing at the 50. Drops back, quick pass up top, finds the lure, picks up about 7 yards, steps out of bounds. They'll credit him with 6. Second down and 4. Jesse Fretz in the chat says, yes, we will defeat LA with our mighty dinks and dunks. Gerald, that just got me thinking that would be one heck of a name for a team. The Mighty Dinks.
The Mighty Dinks? How about the Dunks?
Mighty Dunks.
It's gonna be the division rival, the Dinks versus the Dunks.
Let's make it happen somehow, some way.
I could just see it now. The Dinks versus the Dunks.
The logos paint themselves. Carter back to pass, pressure on its way, throws, gets the catch, gets hit, stays on his feet before being tackled at the 27. They're in great position now.
Yeah, and I can't believe that he actually held on to the ball. He got hit just in the back and the ribs and everything else, still held on to it. But look, they're not using their timeouts.
Carter back to throw once again. He's going to take off and jog with it. Doesn't have quite the speed as we saw from Swift.
Why would this slide?
I don't know. Oh, he was taking his sweet time getting down the field, but 3 minutes later, he's got 19 yards.
Look, and Carter is not really nimble at all. And it makes you wonder, like, how does he get that open to where he can actually just run right out there and no one's spying on him?
Yeah, run with an asterisk, perhaps. First down and goal from the 9, 27 seconds. They still have all 3 timeouts. Carter looks, throws to the fence. That'll stop the clock with 23 seconds. $10 super chat from Jesse Fretz. Dunk for all and all for dunk. There you go. Second down and goal.
It's gonna will itself into existence.
Carter, dangerous pass. And they're forced to burn a timeout. So third down and goal still from the 9. So no yards gained there and 19 seconds left.
Yeah, and look, I would have actually liked to see them do some sort of a running back draw, right? Delayed handoff right here, right? Because you had your 3 timeouts, and you can use them as you see fit. But now you're in third down and goal right here where you're almost forced to maybe try to put something in the end zone if you want to come away with a touchdown.
I think you have to. Carter. Back, not even the back corner, just way out of the back of the end zone. So I think he wanted to throw to that receiver, Gerald. He saw 2 defenders right on him to get a look at it from behind. He just said, you know what? I'm just going to throw it deep to the cameraman, and we'll settle for 3.
Yeah, he almost played it as if he didn't realize how much time was on the clock there either, right? It seems like, hey, look, if it's a 7 second stuff on the clock, you want yourself about a 5 second play to give your field goal kicker something to kind of go with, right? But I don't know. He had one look. It seemed like one look, and if it wasn't there, he was throwing it away.
Field goal is good. 13 off the board. For those of you playing bingo, I saw Rochelle in the chat earlier trying to see if she could sneak a 3 off the board. Do you picture Rochelle just sitting at like her dining room table watching the game, and she's got her bingo blotter in hand, just ready to go?
Rochelle's probably got that massive bag that looks like some sort of a caboodle. If those who know what a caboodle is, probably got this, caboodle looking thing with like many different colored daubers.
Yeah, like cat print fabric.
She just daubing away.
Yeah.
I know how I'm going through to get a diver. She's gonna slap me when she sees me next time. I just know.
Yeah, I'll watch it too. It'll be funny. So LA calls another timeout. I guess they want to see if they can try to get some points. There's not really enough time. I think I would have let that go to the half, but 8 seconds to go. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, look, and I don't know. I mean, they have another timeout, right? They got about 8 seconds. If they can get close to midfield, gets them a little bit closer to be able to taking a shot, you know, an easier shot at the end zone in a Hail Mary situation.
Ball is handed off.
Oh.
To Fowler. He gains a good chunk of yards, puts him in Hail Mary range. So Michael Percoco in the chat says Rochelle's swearing at the TV, yelling random numbers. 3! There should be a 3! Blah, blah, blah. So three.
Oh my God. I just she's gonna hate us. If she does this back there, she's totally gonna hate us.
She hears it. And yeah, she will. Play action. Swift down to the bottom, but it's caught, but the clock expires. So that'll bring us to the half. And much like we thought, Gerald, this is going to be a close game. Well, it currently is. LA out in front, 14-13 over the hometown Salt Lake Hornets. But as we head to the half and we see some of the stats, the highlights from the first half of action, Gerald, your thoughts on the first half of play in this one?
It turned out to be a tighter game than what we thought after you know, Salt Lake got up 10-0, and then, you know, this run right here, as you're seeing right here from Fowler coming in there, it just can change the game entirely. And you had 10 unanswered by Salt Lake, and then you had 14 unanswered by LA, only for Salt Lake to get 3 points and close to one-score game. So it still is anyone's game. We could very, very looking at overtime again if it shakes out that way.
Hook us up. Extra football. I'll take it. We're going to get into the second half after this. You're watching the UFL on the Virtual Football Network.
This UFL is intended for the private use of our audience. Any accounts or descriptions of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
I'm Mike Dykes. He's Gerald Smith. We've got Cameron Irvine, our producer at VFNHQ. Let's get the second half underway. Kick 9 yards deep into the end zone. And T-Roy Gaines in the chat says, was that your Ray impression, Dags? Yes. Yes, it was. Was it good? No, it was not. 12 minutes on the clock. Get the third quarter rolling here as the Aztecs will have the ball to start the second half. Marco Swift back out onto the field. And so is Isaiah Fowler, who starts things off with a nice run up the middle. That one only good for a gain of 3. But look at that stat line, Gerald. He's got 109 yards through the first half plus those 3.
Yeah, doing really well, right? So he had that 73-yard run, and he's still doing pretty good, right? As his other runs are coming at a pretty good clip.
And Rochelle says, did I just hear 3? Block, block, block. Ball handed off to Noel. That one short gain. 3rd down and 6 coming up. The Aztecs really don't want to go 3 and out to start the second half.
No, not with the momentum they had in the first half, right? You want to come out. If not, you get the momentum right back, especially in playing at home Salt Lake.
Swift to pass, has time.
Did you got to run?
Decides to run. Turns up field and slides. I think he got lost, Gerald. He had all kinds of room, could have easily got that first down, and literally chose to give himself up. 4th down, they're going to have to punt.
That was
bad.
Yes, like he was obviously yards short right there. Yeah, and he just, I guess he thought the sticks were in a certain area, didn't really fully be aware what the down and distance was. I'm not sure what it was, but there was a defender there, but
Kinda. I mean, the defender looked like he didn't even realize that Swift had the ball. The only thing that I can think is that he saw the down marker and thought, I don't know, got lost in the moment, ran past the down marker and decided to slide, thinking that was the line to gain instead of the line of scrimmage. Don't know. But in any case, the Hornets back out on the field now to get the second half started for them. And Allure able to pick up about 14 yards on the first carry. And add to his stat line, he's had a good day as well.
Yeah. He's almost getting 5 yards of carry right there. Look, when your offensive line is open up, just running lanes for you like that, dude, it's real easy. I can run through. I'm slow and I'm short and I'm a little bit round. I could run through that. I think.
At least stroll through it.
Oh,
and look at Allure strolling down the field, picks up another big chunky yards. That one good for about 17. He's now 7 yards away from 100, and he's got 10 yards after contact.
Yeah, and it seems like the defense, right? It's almost like they're not even focused right now because it's almost like they're still in disbelief, right? Of how Swift kind of slid early. They said, "Hey, we really should be on the field right now, but guys, you got to drop that, and you got to get back focused."
Into Aztec territory. Ball is play action. Fooled me. Carter passing down the right sideline. His receiver had beat the defender, Gerald. Climbed the ladder, but could not haul it in and bring it down. Adam West, his intended target, but he drops the pass.
Look, I think it was C.J. Parrish right there swatting the ball right out of the hands that he was trying to bring it down. Very, very good coverage down the field by the linebacker.
Second down and 10. Allure trying to fix that problem and picks up about 9. Sets up the Hornets with a 3rd and short.
Yeah, as he crossed the 100-yard mark now with that run, and it's 3rd and short right here. He was just kind of ping-ponging around for extra 2 or 3 yards right there.
High formation on 3rd down and 1. And they're going to screen pass it up to the top. I think he got the first down, but a flag on the play. And it's a holding on the Hornet. Skippy Curtis, shame on you. 3rd down and 10 now, backing him up.
Wow, that changes it hugely.
Oh, yeah, they had picked that up as well. Carter decides to try to do it again and does. So did it change it? Nope. Everything's better now for the Hornets as they're able to secure a pass to DJ Parker for his 3rd catch on the day, and inside the red zone they go.
Look, and what do they do, right? Their offensive lineman gets caught for a hold. It's like, hey, look, no panic right here. We can pick this up, no doubt. We got the firepower to do so. And again, I mean, I don't know if the actual linebackers aren't getting deep enough or the safeties are playing too deep to just not get beat over the top, but it's been happening quite often, right? They've been having so many soft spots in the middle areas of the defense.
Play action and zone. Touchdown Hornets, and they retake the lead just like that. Wow.
What a catch right there. Back-to-back catches for Barker right there. Cone up huge on 3rd down on a big 3rd and 10 and a rollout right there. And he fit that in a nice little window right there, right in between the 2 defenders, and keeps himself in bounds in the back of the end zone. And now they have retaken the lead. Now they have scored. Pending this, it could be another 10-point like unanswered.
And the refs wanted to just confirm the touchdown. It looked good to me watching it live. We'll get a closer look at it here. I think he had both feet down. I think he actually got 3 feet down because I saw 2, and then the 3rd one there was in the green. It didn't hit the white, so looks to me like he has possession, but I'm not wearing a zebra striped shirt. So we'll see what the ref has to say. And the ref says the ruling on the field stands. It's a touchdown, and Salt Lake will go for 2.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this right now.
No, they don't need it, but it would put them up by 7 as they throw down to the bottom, and they convert. 2-point conversion is good. So
it's a great call. 3rd straight reception by Parker.
That's exactly what I would have done. Right?
That's why I'm not a coach. I'm not an owner because I don't know. I just say random things, and who knows? Yeah. I do the broadcaster curses too, apparently.
Oh, did you see the game that I called last night? Speaking of broadcaster curses, I tried to fill your shoes and played analyst last night. I think I cursed both teams, in fact, multiple times, to the fact where they both said they never want me to call a game for them again. So, surprise, you and I will be calling the game for one of those teams Friday.
I completely, I can relate.
All I said was that Cameron Duty had been perfect on the season, and then whoop, wide left.
Oh, I can directly relate.
You've been there, right? Yeah, you've done that. You've done that recently.
Very same week.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, you should have learned when I said it.
One would think, but alas, no. Marco Swift back out onto the field with the Aztecs. Gets a pass complete over the middle, and a first down is completed. 288 to 243, the current yardage comparison between these two teams. Salt Lake leading with 288. The Aztecs trying to get caught back up, not in just in yardage, but in points as well. Fowler with a short carry there. They held the lead, but it was a brief lead. Gerald, you mentioned how they scored 14 unanswered, but then Salt Lake put up a field goal, a touchdown, and now a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and they done scored 11 unanswered, right? They just decided to go against my 10-point thing I was trying to make and make it 11. But I mean, now they have all the momentum, and this is an important drive right here for LA, right? To be able to get themselves back in it, right? Because now Salt Lake has reestablished himself, right? If we had a meter, we know someone else who's got a meter, it would be leaning towards Salt Lake, back to Salt Lake at this point. It seemed like they regained some of that momentum.
It would indeed, and you just saw a shot of the LA defense on the sideline, just looking a little bit, disconcerted as they just allowed Salt Lake to just march down the field, and they even had a holding penalty called against Salt Lake, and thought maybe that would help. Nope, they immediately convert that next first down, but and it's big. Swift throws it right to the defense, taken away by the Hornets defender Jan Lopez. And the momentum swings further into the Hornet territory.
Wow, I want to get another good look at it, because did he kind of jump the route, or did it bobble out of the receiver's hand right here? We're going to get a good look at it right here. No, it just was a little bit overthrown. Wow. And those are unforced errors right there, because he had a lot of time right there. It was just a missed throw, or the wide receiver didn't come out of his break soon enough, and just wow, that was an easy pitch and catch right there for the defense. And this is not what LA needed to get themselves back going, because now they've got themselves in a situation where their backs are bringing against the wall right here at midfield.
Jan Lopez, 6 foot tall, free safety, able to haul that one in. And Allure takes a handoff and loses a yard as tackled in the backfield for a loss by Isaiah Justice.
I'm just coming through it there and being able to just look, and they need something right like that for them to happen right there, right? As Forker comes right there and knocks them down, but the defense has got to step up for LA, right? You got to pick your offense up. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't had a whole lot of good happen, especially late in the second quarter, and going into this third quarter has been complete. Oh wow.
And the false start called on Salt Lake. You don't see that all too often against the home team. I guess the crowd just a little bit too excited right now. They got to quiet down for the home team offense. Pitch up to the top, back to Allure. That plays worked for them earlier on.
No, they got a couple yards.
Yeah, third down at 14 coming up, so big opportunity for the Aztecs defense to try to correct the mistake of the offense by getting a stop here.
Yeah, look, and I do think it's going to start with getting pressure on Carter right here.
They only send 4, no pressure to be had, but a nice open field tackle is made, and it'll be a 4th down. Scotty Scruggs in on the defensive stop once again.
Yeah, and what a way for the defense to step up right after that turnover, not allowing even a first down right here, and they just barely got past midfield, so they're going to give their offense the ball back. And they're going to be able to get themselves in a situation where they can actually answer the score and potentially tie this game up. They can move the ball down the field.
Salt Lake on to punt now. Marco Swift will have to shake the interception off. Get his offense back out there, now trailing 1 touchdown. And that one sailed off the side of his foot, Gerald. It goes out of bounds at the Aztec 31-yard line.
Yeah, and it gives LA better field position than what they probably typically would have had. I mean, if you'd have kicked it back at the end zone, they'd have been back at the 20. I mean, they just spotted them 11 additional yards that they really didn't have to.
Swift hands it off to Fowler, runs up the middle, gets about 7 before he bulldozes the defender, rolls forward for another yard, 2nd down and 2.
Dude, he was so quick hitting that lane. I just like after seeing him, get that run burst, whatever. When he speeds through the offensive line like that, oh man, I'm thinking he's gonna take off again.
Play action. Swift down the field, and he catches the ball for a big gain. Catches it for a 30-yard reception, turner out of bounds, and that's only the 9th catch on the day for the Aztecs offense.
Look, and he had really good protection right there, enough time to be able to find, his receiver. Oh, did he get that foot in?
Well, the Aztecs should hurry to the line if they want that one to count, because that one might be challenged, and if it is, I think it might be overturned, but no flag being thrown on that replay. Gerald, it definitely looked to me like that second foot went halfway out of bounds, but it's in the history books now as the 3-yard pickup is gained by Noel.
Yeah, it was worth at least the angles we had here. It was it was worth a second look, but maybe they got advised not to. Hey, look, you'll lose it if you challenge it.
Swift to throw once again, has all day.
Wow.
Makes a sandwich, eats it. Now he throws, finds a target wide open, and it's all the way down to the 7-yard line. Swift had enough time to take out a small business loan and start a snowball truck business, Gerald.
Yeah, he did, and he just finds Lars Bazaar right there. He's like, look like I'm gonna just toss it out to him, or somebody was yelling at, Swift on the sideline saying, "Don't run. You didn't know where the sticks were last time. Let's just find somebody open." But credit to the offensive line for giving him all the time that he needed.
From the 7, hands it off. Fowler gets wrapped up after a 2-yard gain. 118 yards now on the day. Second and goal from the 5.
Look, and this game's kind of been going back and forth, right? Just when we think one team has all the momentum, right, and could start pulling away, the other team makes the plays they need, and LA is just looking to potentially tie it up.
Swift to Fowler. Fowler end zone touchdown, and they're an extra point away from tying it up again.
Yeah, that was pretty good right there. Doing right there, handing it off, and I'm not sure the defenders, thought he looked. He was out of position or whatever, but he almost walked in pretty much untouched right there. Good blocking up front. Waited for them to answer. After turning the ball over, their defense stood tall, gave their offense a chance to get the ball back. And, I mean, you got to think, too, with Salt Lake in the bad punt, gave them really good field position, shortened up the field for them to potentially tie the game up with this extra point.
Extra point on its way. It's up. It's good. 21-21 now. Gerald, still plenty of football left to be played, but if we were to hit triple zeros on the clock now, we'd be heading to an overtime game again, as they did when they met way back when, June 22nd in Los Angeles, where LA was able to sneak away with a 26-23 overtime win. And this one's got that same exact type of feel.
Yeah, it's just been kind of back and forth, right? Just when like I just mentioned, that's when you think, hey, somebody has somewhat of the upper hand. Their opponent comes back and answers, and puts a board on points on the board and change the landscape a little bit, right? But now look, we're all tied up. It's all back 0-0 now, with just a quarter and a little bit of change left.
Kick down to the 2, returned up past the 20, gets it up to the 27-yard line, and the Hornets now looking to redo what they did a couple of drives ago, where they marched straight down the field, what looked effortless, Gerald, against the Aztec defense, and were able to get it into the end zone, not only for a touchdown, but a 2-point conversion, but then had to punt away on their last drive. Let's see what they're able to do here on this one. Carter starts out into the gun, hands it off to Allure, and we've seen Allure making some moves tonight, Gerald. I know some of them you haven't liked because it didn't work, but man, some of them certainly have. He's on fire.
Look, and that's the thing. Look, and you talk about it all the time with an offensive player, right? He's getting 5.5 yards a carry. None of them are overly large, right? He's got a lot of 10, maybe 15-yard pops in his run, but he's making all these moves and making defenders miss. And man, they're just he's doing real well right now. Well over 100 yards.
First down and 10. Carter down to the bottom. Allure catches it. totally lets the defender bounce off of him. Only gains 3, but that was impressive that he didn't just let that ball go flying.
I don't know how he held on to it. I know I wouldn't be able to do it because that was like a body bag throw almost. If you called it, his quarterback threw it out there, you had to reach for it, and he got hit. Wow,
That time tackle. Yeah, tackle for a loss. It was a great corner blitz. Third tackle now on the day for Waller.
Yeah, Waller comes right on the edge right there. Somewhat of like some sort of a corner blitz or something like that. And that's a huge, huge tackle for loss. That's about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
That is going to bring the third quarter to a close. 3 quarters in the books. 12 minutes remains here from Salt Lake. You are watching the Virtual Football Network West Conference semifinal game. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith. Cameron Irvine back at VFNHQ. Jay Carter sacked now on the play. Pressure finally gets to him, Gerald. They've been working on that all week, and it finally pays off. Kilgannon gets the sack.
Yeah, look, and these are one of these things like, look, now that like LA scored, right, and now they got to stop, it's 4th and long now, right, and they're going to get their opponent to punt, but it's like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, hey, one team looks like, hey, look, it looks like, hey, they have all the momentum right here, and they got everything, going well for them, just like Salt Lake had a while ago, right, scoring 11 unanswered. So we're going to see how LA is going to respond. They're going to put up multiple scores right here.
Well, they certainly have a nice opportunity as that punt, beautiful punt, pins them back at the 19-yard line. Miles not able to do anything other than field it and down it. Marco Swift's updated numbers, only 10 completions on 14 attempts, 156 yards, a touchdown. He does have 1 pick that the defense was able to effectively negate by not allowing the Hornets to get any points off the turnover. And now looking to reclaim the lead. Fowler playing pinball. You mentioned pinball earlier on, and we've seen a lot of that in this game. Ball carriers just bouncing off defenders.
Yeah, dude, and that's the thing. Look, and the tackling hasn't been terrible, but when it comes to the running backs, right, with all the juking and the spinning and everything else, it's been a little bit difficult for the defense.
First down catch made up at the 29-yard line, and getting back to the dinking and dunking that they said the Hornets were doing, but the Aztecs, they could have an opportunity here as well, combining with some runs from Fowler and some dink and dunk passes like that one with Fowler. And look at him making some extra yards. Wow. He gets good yards after being hit, but also able to make defenders just completely miss.
Man, if he's not too fast for his own good, but it looked like he ran too fast to the corner and just accidentally stepped out, he may still be running, right? Because look, he did puts a move right here, and then he just turns on the jets. Dude, that was some acceleration.
Let's go. 50.
High formation now on first down and 10 from the 45. Delayed handoff, no play action.
Oh,
Swift.
I knew it.
Oh, he's uncorking it deep into the end zone, and it's a touchdown for the Aztecs. What a play!
I tell you what, I kind of preemptively said, like, I knew it. He play action and just laid back there. I knew he was going to lay it up, and guess what? Throws it way, way deep to Iggy Turner, finding him in the end zone, hit him in his stride, a little bit underthrown, but being able to get there, and Turner's able to pull it in despite it being somewhat of a contested. Watch how close this was. His hand was there, just out of reach, being able to pull it in 59 yards, and they have now taken over the game right here.
Extra point forthcoming. Kick is up. Kick is good. 28-21. The Aztecs retake the lead. They were down 10-0, Gerald, way back when, and were able to put up 2 unanswered touchdowns. Salt Lake able to claw their way back into it. They kicked a field goal before the half to make it 14-13 heading into halftime, and then came out in the second half, stopped the Aztecs, got the ball, marched right down the field, got in the end zone, got a touchdown, 2-point conversion to go up by 7, but the Aztecs now have gotten another touchdown of their own to tie it up, and then the defense 2 3-and-outs in a row and marched right down the field. I don't even know if you can say marched down the field, uncorked a pass down the field into the end zone, perfectly thrown ball. We mentioned earlier that pass from Swift to Javon Thome was probably the most beautiful pass we would see all night. Nope, that one was.
And this is like, if I'm counting correctly, isn't it the fourth lead change of the game so far, right? Both having, the lead twice at 2 different moments in the game. And both teams are scoring like, double-digit points on their streak. So like you mentioned, right? Salt Lake up 10 points, right? 10 unanswered. Yeah. LA answers with 14. And then Salt Lake answers with 11 unanswered. And here we are now with LA 14 unanswered.
Carter looking to get his team into position to respond. Can't do it there. Pass is incomplete. 2nd down and 10. All the way backed up to their own 26-yard line. Plenty of time left, but soon time will start to become a factor. Only a 1-score game, though. Anything could happen here in this one. Carter back to throw again. Dinks, dunks, pass broken up. The defense for the Aztecs flying around mercilessly.
Yeah, look, and I don't know if Salt Lake has ever been like in this situation in the fourth quarter of this season, where they're down a touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Carter, nice block picked up by Allure, but under pressure, and he looks rattled right now under pressure. Throws that one way too deep, and 3rd consecutive 3-and-out, I believe, if my math is mathing for the Hornets.
Yeah, it's not good right now, right? Because you got to think, right? Just like I mentioned, hey, look, I don't know if they've been in a situation at home because they are 9-0 in the fourth quarter, but like they're 9-0 at home, and it's ridiculous. And here they are in the playoffs, right? One of the biggest games in their season thus far, and they're at the position that they're in, right? I know for sure that 2 straight 3-and-outs, and now here it comes back out. Like Iggy Turner, right? 6 receptions, 125 yards on a touchdown on that last drive. He's got that touchdown. So it's going to be really interesting if LA can go down and get any kind of a points to make it a 2-score lead.
Aztecs back in possession of the football, and Fowler trying to see if he can help orchestrate a 9-minute drive and just let this one run the clock out. That would be a tall task, but to your point, Gerald, if they can get in the end zone again, go up by 2 scores, LA could come out of here with the win, serving Salt Lake their first home loss. Wow. Well, that's certainly going to help as Miles Morales-Woods. He was more open than any receiver I've seen tonight. Nobody in the area.
And how does that happen right there, right? He's just so wide open. I thought he was going deep again to Turner, but here it is, Morales-Woods coming right across, just wide open. And guess what they're watching? They're watching it deep right here, right? Look, and Swift is averaging just under 18.5 yards per completion tonight.
Yeah, big plays. Big plays has been the story of the game for the Aztecs. On the ground, too, Fowler with a huge run. Under pressure now, and look at Swift get away, and this time slides in the right spot. So he's learned from his mistakes. He slid when he should have slid that time, Gerald.
And the good thing about it is he slides in bounds. He doesn't run out. He slides in bounds, trying to keep that clock running.
2nd down and 3. Short pass over the middle is caught and up to the 30-yard line. So just like that, the Aztecs are in scoring range, Gerald. They could potentially make this a 2-score game now.
Yeah, look, and they are in full control right here, right? Now that they're in field goal range, I would fully expect, this is what I would do as a coach. But the reason why I'm not a coach, because I wasn't very good. But like I would start to kind of run the game, right? Get Fowler a little bit more involved right here. Get in a ball protection type offense, right, where you're not laying it out there for in any danger.
So not the shotgun with 4 wide.
No, definitely not.
Well, Swift disagrees and dunks that one down to Fowler. Keeps it safe though. It was a safe pass on what could have been a dangerous opportunity.
Right. Look, and I do think a key to actually, LA staying strong right here, because you got to think, I mean, Swift threw an interception not that long ago.
He did, yeah. Play action on this one. Oh, goes to the end zone and almost threw another pick right there, Gerald. Right on cue, you broadcaster cursor.
Yeah, I didn't get to finish my point, so it's good. It's not balanced, but I'm going to finish my point. I didn't want to mess up the play, but their defense stood tall on the one turnover they did, which helped them stay in the game.
They're down and 8. We'll see if they can keep the drive going, at least keep the clock going.
Oh.
They do both as he jumps up, mosses the defender, catches the ball at the 7-yard line. First and goal, Aztecs.
Lors skied up and was able to pull that down. That was overthrown and everything. It just shows how much they want this game.
They sure do. Bizarre. Way up over the top.
Wow.
DJ Kilgannon says, Gerald, you are making me lose hair that I don't have to lose. DJ, he just wants you to join the hair club. Swift, end zone, touchdown Aztecs, a 2-touchdown lead now in the game.
And they made that one there look easy, by just throwing it right over the middle to just Claude. I can't even pronounce his name. Svengos.
Yeah, somebody just smashed a keyboard and said, that's your name.
Right. So, but look, and he just made it look easy right here. And now I don't know if Salt Lake we know has the firepower and being able to put up points and put up points quick. They have a tall task right here. 21 unanswered pending this kick right here.
They absolutely do. Extra point is up and good. 35-21, and now Salt Lake in some desperate territory as they're going to need 2 touchdowns to get this one tied up and send it to overtime. We're going to bring in Cameron Irvine back at headquarters. He's got some information to talk about. Cameron?
Yeah, it's just interesting, guys, how, that we talked about the Jay Carter's throw under pressure. We've talked about Michaela Forker's block shed. We haven't seen much of Foraker tonight as Salt Lake has tried to bury her, but there's other things happening across the league. I saw that a St. Louis player today helped boost Milwaukee's quarterback Adam Wiseman playing Dallas tomorrow, a division rival of St. Louis, trying to take them down. Oh my goodness, Mike Daggs, what is happening here? But
I just wanted to see if I could distract you, and guess what? It worked.
Well, it worked, but any player on a team that's currently playing or not on a team that is currently playing has the chance to impact these playoffs. It's going to be a wild finish. This one's not over yet. Remember, Cincinnati was down 15 points and scored 16 unanswered in the final 6 or 7 minutes of the game. So we'll see what happens here at the end of this one. Thank you, Mike.
All right, Cam, sounds good. Yeah, I mean, if any team's able to get back into it, Salt Lake's the team to do it. They put up points in droves. You look back at that August 18th game against Albuquerque, they scored 56 points in that one. I think if you were to do the math, they have to average at least 35 to 40 points a game in most of their contests. So they could get back into it. We'll see. Pass down to the bottom. That one's caught. And just like that, a couple plays into the drive, Gerald, they're past midfield.
Yeah, look, and that's the thing. Look, we know that they can actually, score really, really quick right here. So they're just going to go there and just put, every effort that they can put in there, right? And just like Cam mentioned earlier, right? Someone put a ton of points actually on, a ton of points on the board in a really quick fashion.
DJ Kilgannon with a $100.01 super chat says he loves Cam more than us. DJ, let's watch this sack right here. Oh, and a flag on the play. I don't know if DJ has a picture of Cameron Irvine on his wall.
Face mask. Oh, that's
we do. Good. No, face mask on the defense. That sack is negated. Instead of a second and 20, it's going to be a first down and 10. The Salt Lake Hornets don't need any help putting up points. The Aztecs defense needs to play better than that.
Yeah, they need to, especially when you have them on the ropes like that. Like, you can't make that mental mistake and be able to grab the mask.
Kelshman in the chat says, what Madden is this? It's a customized version of Madden 20 for the UFL on the Virtual Football Network. Thanks for joining us. You joined the league right here for a conference semifinal game, and Yeah, recoded and reskinned is what the FN is saying there. And wow, here we go. First down and 10 from inside the 30. Going to the end zone, getting the touchdown, and they're right back in it, Gerald. There's plenty of time left on this one, and a touchdown away from tying it up, but now it's up to the defense to get the ball back.
Look, and just when they thought they had sacked and had a long down yardage to go, right, there's a face mask penalty in there, and guess what happens? Barker comes through right here on a big catch in the back of the end zone for his second TD of the day, and to get his team, somewhat back into the game now, right? So look, dude, and they're back in. They have all 3 timeouts. I think we got somewhere around 5-ish minutes left in the game. Like I said, Cam said it ain't over till it's over when he popped up and showed us his pretty face. And look, here we are. Look, 5 minutes, right under 5 minutes, and they got five. They have all three timeouts left. So there's no panic in Salt Lake.
Yeah, they had 5 timeouts. I was going to say that the refs are giving them some sort of weird home field advantage here. But,
I don't know, man. We got all these numbers going around. Cam getting his
super chat.
Super chats, getting his yearly mortgage paid through super chats.
Oh, all right. So 35-28. And LA about to get the ball back. 4:57 to go. Both teams, all 3 timeouts. A 2-minute warning in here. But LA has just looked on fire, Gerald, these last several drives on offense. All they need to do really is just run the clock out on this one and play it safe.
Yeah, look, and that's the thing. But they've gotten these 35 points despite me telling them, hey, play it safe. So if I'm then, hey, look, dance with the girl that brought you, right? Because they've only had one mistake on defense, right? And that was an overthrow, somewhat of an overthrow about the quarterback. But we're going to see how they're going to handle this right here. But look, here we are, 3 wide, running back.
And it looks like they still want to keep on slinging it. Marco Swift, he's looked good these last few passes. This one goes out of bounds, though. Was trying to get that out to Morales Woods, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Yeah. I think if you're going to do that, I mean, you want to just have a play where it keeps the ball in play to keep that clock running, because that's just extra timeouts for Salt Lake right there.
Hand this one off to Fowler. He's able to get about half of what he needed. Now a flag if this one's on the Hornets. Yep.
That is not good.
No, they needed it. We saw the Aztecs defense, help out the Hornets on their last possession, and the Hornets desperately needed to play clean. That hurts.
Yeah, look, and you got to think about it, right? Because Fowler got somewhere between 5 to 6 yards there, and then you give another 15. That's a 20-yard play.
Yep. All the way almost up to midfield, and Swift trying to get into Salt Lake territory, and does, as he once again is able to find his favorite target tonight, Lars Bizarre, who's got a whole bunch of yards, over 300 yards now for Marco Swift.
Yeah, look, and it's the thing, and at some point right here, I wonder if you're Salt Lake, when do you might want to start taking your timeouts, right? Because look, if they start inching down, right, this thing's going to be under 3 minutes even before they get a chance to get the ball back. So, at what point do you even want to start maybe utilizing those timeouts if you're Salt Lake?
Yeah, I'd want to save some time, but I also want to see what my defense can do. I'd probably wait inside 3 minutes. See if we can, get the stop, get the ball back. I'm not sure, but Fowler stuffed right at the line. It's tough, Gerald. I mean, you could go either way. You could call them now and conserve a bunch of time, or wait and use them as you need them on your final drive. See if they can get another 10 yards. That might change it. And yeah, Fowler able to get half of that right there, right on the fringe range of field goal range. I think if they allow any more yards, then LA could make this a 2-score game again, and then it's all but over.
Yeah, and you can actually see the defender right there, right when he went to tackle, Fowler right there. He's trying to strip the ball out to force some sort of a turnover.
Swift to seal it, and this one is complete down to the 22-yard line. And now I think Salt Lake really needs to start using those timeouts.
God, and they have 512 yards of total offense right after that play. They are putting on a show right here. It's just like they've come in here and it's crazy. No one has done this to, like Salt Lake, like all season, like I mentioned coming in, right? They're a 9-0 on the season, so far, and including the playoffs.
Swift decides to keep on slinging it, gets it into the end zone. The Aztecs are back out in front by 2 touchdowns. Morales Woods into the end zone for 6.
Morales Woods coming up huge, catching it right at the goal line and spinning his way in there. And I do think right now it's going to be a really, really tough task for Salt Lake. Look, we know they can score fast, but man, and that's what I mentioned right there. Is, hey, look, are they going to be conservative? You mentioned, hey, look, maybe they're just going to pay ball protection. No, we're like, oh, hey, look, we got that here and where we are being aggressive, and they continue to be aggressive despite being up 7 points and having the ball. They just kept chucking it down the field, and now look at them. They have a 14-point lead with just shy of 2.5 minutes left.
And looking back through the games played all season long, where Salt Lake has just been so dominant offensively and defensively, holding most of their opponents to less than 15 points. And LA with 42, that's the most points any team has scored against Salt Lake all season long, and it comes here in the conference semifinal game. It's not over until the clock strikes 000, Gerald. There's still a chance that Salt Lake can get back into it, but they're going to need some big plays, and they're going to need them fast.
Yeah, and they're going to need to score quick, man. I do think that, if this happens, they're going to not use their timeout, score pretty quick, and, keep it. Oh, you got to run that out, I think, at that time, man. Like, if you want to make a play. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, they got to try to do whatever they can to get their way back into it. So, maybe wanting to conserve the clock. 2:25 to go. They're at the 25-yard line. 4-down territory all the way through the entire rest of the game. They're going to start with a short pass up top. Needs to get out of bounds to try to save the clock, but 3-yard pickup's not really going to get this done. They got to get big chunk plays.
No, and it's definitely not, right? Like, but the only good thing with that right there, I mean, they got out of bounds, a little bit of waste of time, about 3 seconds, but they just, you gotta push the field.
And they get a first down there, and they'll hurry back up to the line, but this one will probably go to the 2-minute warning, and then we'll see the conclusion of the game on the other side of the break. I don't think they'll get this one snapped, and nope, they don't. 2 minutes to go here from Salt Lake. The Hornets trailing 42-28. You're watching the Virtual Football Network here in the conference semifinals. I'm Mike Dykes, he's Gerald Smith, Cameron Irvine back at VFN HQ. Carter to throw, gets it past midfield, trying to work his way to the sidelines. Stays in bounds. Go into the hurry up.
You gotta make a beeline straight for the sideline right there, right? Be able to pick up, get what you can, but also stay on your feet and run out of bounds to stop the clock.
Agreed. Short pass over the middle to Allure. And they need to start going downfield a little bit more. Gerald, time is ticking away.
Yeah, look, and as we know, right, that like the UFL rules, look at the 10-second runoff when you're in the no huddle. So
Carter, bigger pass this time inside the red zone. They'll hurry back to the line. They'll get the ball snapped with about a minute to go from the 19.
Yeah, look, and with them, the way they're playing it right now, them actually, saving the timeouts and being able to do what they need to do is not a bad thing.
Carter goes up top, getting the catch, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock with 56 seconds to go from the 6-yard line. First and goal.
Yeah, look, and that's what they needed. They needed an unofficial timeout by going out of bounds. But I do think right here, look, you have to start taking these shots in the end zone.
Carter in the gun, looking, end zone. Nope, he throws short, and that one's going to cost them time.
Oh, precious good.
Time. No.
God, you called the timeout now, though. I think at this point, you call a timeout.
They're not going to. They're going to let the clock continue to roll. They want to save those timeouts in case they can't get the onside kick. Carter, he's got to go end zone here, and he does, and it's in for the touchdown. So Salt Lake now only 8 points away from tying it up. They'll kick the extra point here, Gerald, and then onside kick try coming up. Even if they don't get the onside kick, they can still get the ball back. It's not over yet.
Yeah, it's just, man, they just utilize so much time, right? Because you got to get the onside kick anyway, right? At least I would think, right? You do the onside kick there, but man, like I would have liked to see a timeout, because whenever they, before they ran that last play, they had probably just, around 50 seconds, right? They wasted 18 seconds, not calling that timeout.
Michaela Forker, frustrated on the defensive line all night long, just has not been able to get to Carter. The battle between her and Skippy Curtis on the offensive line has been a game within the game for the action tonight. So, all right, onside kick try coming up. Adam West, the tight end for the Hornets, able to get his first catch on the night on that last drive, Gerald. He's usually a big piece of this offense. They've held him in check.
Yeah, look, and how about, most points scored in the playoffs?
Oh, yeah.
As well, right? 42 points. The traveling, LA Aztecs coming into this, undefeated, team at home, and being able to put these points up, because, look, they haven't surrendered that many points, like, at all season long, right? So Salt Lake is not the most they've given up, and it was, on the road, they've given up 37 points, but they haven't given up this many points all season long.
And the onside kick is picked up by LA. It bobbled around there for a minute, Gerald, but Fancher able to jump on it, and LA does have the ball. So 31 seconds to go, but presumably they'll try to run the clock out, and Salt Lake will burn their 3 timeouts to try to get the ball back. A tall task now for the Hornets to potentially win the game. But look at these stats for Marco Swift in the first half. He had only completed less than 10 passes, now up over 300 yards.
Yeah, look, and very, very good day. Even despite his one mistake. Oh, it's over.
Oh, wow. Fowler able to get it. I think so. I think he got it. Well, they're going to say 2nd down and 1. First time out called. At this point now, Gerald, a first down ends it, and LA will advance in the playoffs and take down Salt Lake at home.
Right. So think about it. The last time Salt Lake gave up 20 points or more was against this same LA team, where they gave up 26. And the win streak that they actually had, they stopped them.
Yeah, they did. Second timeout called. So big third down here coming up for both of these teams. If LA can get the first, they win the game. If Salt Lake can get the stop, they've still got one last chance to tie it up and send it into overtime.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see. This is where you got to stand up. But look, I mean, are you going to have enough time? I don't know, but it's going to be right here. I think we'll see Fowler.
Big plays. Ball's handed off to Fowler, and he gets the first. Let's see, do they credit? They do, and the Aztecs get the win.
Yeah, that's it right there. They're going to advance right here. Did something no other team could do inside of this stadium right here, which is take down Salt Lake, and they are one of only 2 teams this season to hand a loss to Salt Lake. What an upset. They came in here, they did what they had to do to knock down one of the best teams in the league.
Absolutely. The number 5 seeded Los Angeles Aztecs will travel to the winner of Dakota San Diego. That game will play tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. You won't want to miss it. Number 4 Cincinnati will either host number 8 Milwaukee or travel to number 2 Dallas on the east side. That game is at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. It's going to be a great remainder of the conference semifinals, getting ready to see who is going to end up working their way into the championship game in just 2 weeks' time. LA, the winner of this one tonight. Salt Lake losing only their 3rd game all time this season, and they fought their hearts out. Gerald, came close. Take us away in this one.
Yeah, it just was a whole lot of streaks, right? Them a whole lot of unanswered points that were being scored and everything else. But guess what? You know what Salt Lake lacked here was them putting up that double digit streak themselves to kind of get a run of themselves, to get themselves back into it right at the end, and LA came out on top.
Absolutely. It was one heck of a game by both of these teams. Heck of a season by Salt Lake. Gerald, it's been a pleasure calling UFL games with you all season long. It's great that this league exists and that we're able to get even more time in the booth together. I know I can speak for both of us saying it's one of our favorite pastimes now. So happy we were able to connect up and do this all season long, and looking forward to continuing it next season with you too.
Yep, it's going to be good times, and I got to thank Cameron Irvine as well, right, allowing us to actually have a platform to just be talking heads for an hour and a half on a weeknight or end of weeknight weekends or whatever it is. So I appreciate him and everybody that's associated with the league, right? You guys make it what it is, and it makes our what we do really enjoyable.
This has been a presentation of the UFL and the Virtual Football Network. For Gerald Smith, Cameron Irvine, Matt Wilson, who's always with me in spirit on every broadcast, I'm Mike Dykes. Thanks for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy. Have a great night.